Very easy.
We could blab about my love of the Odyssey all night. But anyways, we are now talking about X-Men 97, season 2,
Yes.
episodes 1 through 4.
Yes.
Now, Will is going to help me out on this because I was lucky enough to see the entire season. So I'm having to flash back and remember what happened in 1 through 4. So he can fill in the gaps for me where we're
Yes.
going. But this is, we're going to talk about a recap and about just our general thoughts about how much we like this compared to last season. Now, we start off with, remember last season, it ends with basically Apocalypse is back in power. And for we don't know at that time. We do learn in this first episode who pulled them into different timelines, but
Yes.
um, there season 2 deals with 3 groups. We have one group dealing that is in the past, dealing with in Saba Nur.
Im
I always
Sabanur.
want to say Saba.
Yes.
No, it's in Saba Nur. In the past, this is Apocalypse before he rises, it becomes Apocalypse. And then we have another group in the future where Apocalypse is already at, and with Cable and that group. And then we also are coming back to the present in 97, in the 90s. Well, they say in the 90s specifically. Um, so we've got Forge creates kind of a time machine and sends Bishop back to the past 3000 BC and during the rise of Apocalypse. And he sends himself to 3960 AD
Yes.
at the height of Apocalypse power. And they're both going there to retrieve the X-Men group that were sent in both directions and bring them back.
Forge is going to get his woman, and I don't blame him.
That's
Greatest
true.
X-Men of all time. I don't care. Like that's
Even
my hot take.
even Bishop called him out on it. It was like, I get
Yes.
why I know where you're going. Like, this is not hard to understand why you're going because he was like all but like petting the screen, like when he was
Right.
looking at her. But basically, we have Forges reunited with Wolverine, Storm, and Morph, as well as Cyclops and Jean, who they've been as we remember at the end of season 1, they came across Nathan, um, who is obviously our present day Cable.
Yes.
Um, Cyclops and Jean don't really reveal to them who he at this point they still had not revealed who they were to him. Um, and they're not really eager to return to the present,
They
at
sent him
least without wanting
away
to
at
say
the
goodbye to
beginning.
him.
Yes, they sent him away,
Right.
and now they're with him, and their motivation for sending him away was so he could find a cure for the virus and everything else, and then they go to the future and find out that the time they sent him to sucks. So now
Yes.
they're kind of like, well, A, we're reunited with our child, and B, we sent him here. We should probably help him fix it. So they're like, yeah, we're not leaving. We don't want to
Right.
leave.
Yeah, Forge is like I'm gonna give you a day. Like you
Yeah,
gotta like we still have problems back where we're at. Like love that you're having this bond, but clearly there's a reason that he's in the past. So
right.
let's leave him there and get back. And it's Mother Ixani's camp.
Yes,
And they unfortunately, before they can tell him, they are captured by Apocalypse's forces. It's not the Four Horsemen, from my understanding yet. It just looks
yes,
like they're Apocalypse forces who want to use Nathan as a new vessel for Apocalypse's spirit.
yes,
Yes. Um, then that's when Mother Ixani says, "Oh yeah, I was kind of the one who transported you guys through time.
yes.
One group to train him, and the other one, and the one in the past. Um, yeah,
Basically, she
one
was
group in the
trying
future to
to,
train
yeah,
Nathan, and then the others in the past to prevent in Saba Nur from ever becoming Apocalypse in the first place. Which I don't see how like they don't think any of this is going to break a timeline and create all kinds of chaos.
when you deal with time travel, and there's like there's like 15 different types of time travel rules,
Right.
but the constant thing is almost always like if you try and stop this, it doesn't actually stop it.
Right.
It just it doesn't like so I agree, but I see her motivations of like
Sure.
I'm going to send them to the past to try and stop it. But if they can't, I'm going to have these people in the future. But then you get into the whole paradox and it becomes a whole thing.
She's very, in your opinion, is she very Rachel Summersy?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Because
100%.
I'm like the hair kept, and I was like, and just her overall just demeanor with them, I was like, girl,
The
you
way
are
she
Rachel.
interacted with
Them.
them specifically, yes, I
Okay.
100% that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. I will say this, spoiler alert, that is never mentioned, like that does never, that never comes.
Really?
That's the reason I'm asking, like, how do you feel about that? Because like I'm like, it's never mentioned in the
I 100% was like, that's Rachel Summers. You brought the whole family together, except for Havoc, I guess. Oh, he's later, but
yeah, he's later.
yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
I that's the reason I asked if you like if your theory was that that was very Rachel Summers because I was like it's never talked about in the show unless I just
that's
really didn't miss
crazy.
anything. It's never mentioned. So I mean, maybe they're going to use her at another time in another season, but right now, I will tell you, season two, not so. That's the reason I'm asking, and I
Interesting.
pardon if that's a spoiler alert, but I don't want also people expecting it and then also like not happening.
Right.
So anyways, so Cyclops and Jean reveal to him that they're his parents, and it's kind of a cheesy scene because it's like we love you so much, and it gives him this. He very much pulls a Miles Morales, where all of a sudden now my powers are exploding, and I can get us out
Yeah,
of here.
didn't love it. Like, my first thought when it was happening was, oh, they're making me hate Cyclops again because I'm part of the group that, even though
He's
in
not
the
hard to hate.
comics he was like a cool character, he was always a Boy Scout, and not even a cool Boy Scout like Captain America. He was always just like a Boy Scout. He was very strategic, but then the shows just made me really hate him. And then season one made him cool again. And then that one specific scene, I was like, ah, and now you're cheesy again.
In the comics, he's a dick. I mean, like I
Yeah,
don't know a better way to say it.
no,
He's
that's
not
accurate.
a rude. He's not an easy to root for kind of guy.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't. I maybe they decided to change that because they didn't want a just a Captain America version of an of an X Man. I don't know, but anyways, he does break free. He breaks him free, and they escape with the other X Men's help. Apocalypse's spirit flees to the 1990s because he's like, well, I'm gonna attack them, and he does a very like in the 90s.
it was too on the nose to me that like they showed it in the trailer,
Right,
and even in the trailer, I remember being like, okay, like we get it. We're in the
right,
90s. It's X-Men 97. They're
right.
they're most vulnerable, the 1990s. Oh, we gotta
1990s.
get back. We gotta get the X-Men back to the 90s. Like they keep saying, like we get it. We
Right.
get it.
We get it's 1990s.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much, yeah. So Nathan merges kind of with Apocalypse's main like his its computer setting him on the path to become Cable.
Yes.
And then we have in the 1990s Cable, Psylocke, Archangel start recruiting for a team to track down Apocalypse. So that was episode 1. Um I can still see why is like those little corny moments don't really do they don't detract from. I can still see why it was rated so high. Still
Agreed.
great solid storytelling. Again, you got really quick, we understood who got them into do different timelines. It wasn't a whole bunch of messing around with Bishop and Forge trying to decide where they're go building a thing. It was get to these different camps, yank them back because the story's gonna keep progressing here.
Agreed.
So we have episode 2. So with the X-Men all dispersed in different timelines, we have Valerie Cooper, who is kind of running a government sanctioned team of mutants called X Factor. And I think this is the one where the opening changed. It has
It
everybody from the
changed to
X.
the X-Force,
Okay.
and when I tell you my heart, I loved it so much. Like just knowing that it's been X-Force
Right.
has been around. Like
Well,
they
they
exist.
start off with it starts off with X Factor because X Factor is Havoc, Multiple Man, Strong Man, Wolf's Bane, and Polaris.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, she's leading that. which again, Havoc is Cable's uncle, Scott Summers' brother. So yes,
And you see them at the mansion because and the
yes,
mansion is abandoned, disheveled, and
right,
it's a group of young mutants that are running, looking for aid, support,
right,
or
safe haven.
safe haven, and they get caught. Well, I guess not even quotes. They get caught
By
by
the X Force. Oh yes, X Factor.
X
Yes,
Factor, who are the good guys.
the good
Um,
guys.
and yeah, so
Yeah.
that I was like, oh, we're getting X Factor. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed because then we have Cable recruiting Jubilee and Sunspot into his X Force team and tracking down one of the Horsemen of War.
Yes.
Um, I mean, like, God bless Jubilee, but the one thing that NA, like, oh, they're still really trying to make her relevant. Like, I just, it's like, of all X-Men, it's just,
It's I agree, but I love the hallway scene they gave her. And we
sure. No, I know I'm not, like I said, it's almost a kind of like, we're still like, why don't we just
they're
bring Dazzler in?
still all these years later are trying to make, and it's funny because you look at all the different mutants and all the different powers they have, and it's like this
Jubilee? Really?
Jubilee,
Jubilee?
like you look at the whole roster. It's like
Right.
Captain America when that's who he picks for the super soldier program, and you're like, that guy, the scrawny
Just,
one.
is Dazzler not available? Like, what are we
Yeah,
doing here? Like,
like, and
yeah. Yeah. So
it's
basically he recruits Jubilee and Sunspot into his X-Force team and they track down War. Um, after Silex, like the only way, because like this guy's not talking, I gotta get into his mind. And after she reads his mind and realizes there's a block on
without
it
asking, which is a big
without
thing.
asking, yes, it's very much, this is very much not this, none of this is Charles Xavier sanctioned.
Complete contrast of the X-Men.
Right. Cable orders Archangel to execute him, and Jubilee does this like, whoa, ho, hey, like this is not what I signed up for. And I will say that without this is not I'm going to do my darndest to like not spoil anything. That is an issue with Cable as the series goes on. His shoot first and think about the consequences later. And everybody's trying to keep him from being so singularly focused on destroying Apocalypse, which I get it. He's very much like your Drax character, who's I was created for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to track down Apocalypse and kill him. I get it.
And coming from a future where he sees the future with Apocalypse,
Sure,
you can see why. Like he's seen the future
right.
and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, well, this is going to be terrible. So like I
Yep.
have to do this.
Right. And so while Psylocke is in War's mind before he is executed, she comes across like a diamondy kind of shimmer, and they're like, okay, we know who that's. That's an Emma Frost thing.
Yes.
Um, and she kind of like sets up a trap and, traps them. Jubilee's captured. Um, but with Polaris's help, she escapes and frees the rest of the mutants that are held captive with her. Um, Cable and X Force rescue her and the mutants, even though like Cable is not happy about it at the beginning. He's just like, What am I babysitting? What am I doing with all these kids here?
Right.
You know? And they all ended up being like branded as fugitives by this Val Cooper. Now we've got in 3960 AD, Nathan sends Jean, Scott, and the other X-Men back to the 90s.
Yeah.
So we're getting kind of everybody, we're getting the group back together.
We're getting the gang back together.
Right.
I did like in this second episode, it reminded me of the 90s TV shows
Yes.
where everything the characters, the hard shell characters come around in the end. Everything is wrapped up in a bow. They have all this growth, all within a half hour, and it's tied in a bow and gifted to you. Because while Cable still killed War, which full disclosure, I don't disagree with him, but uh he saw the reasoning kind of. He didn't want to babysit the kids, but he took them, and all of a sudden, I'm not a babysitter. And then by the end of the episode, it's like, oh, kids are tougher than they look because like just everything was wrapped up, and it reminded me of those 90s
Right.
episodes where it was like, yeah, there were storylines that continued from week to week, but like it was just all your problems can be solved in a half hour. Like
Right.
that's how it felt.
And everything is good.
Polaris has
Yay.
been working for the government this whole time, but after one
Right.
quick conversation, she changed her ways.
She's changed her ways, which I will say, I can't remember now if it's this is in the first four or not, and this is not really kind of spoiled because nothing really happens, but Polaris and Bishop are
Really?
really really hitting it off here.
He
Very
saw Forge and Storm and was like, you know what? I need to get me a mutant baddie as well. And I
I
do
right,
like Polaris. She's no Storm. I will say it to the day I
right.
die.
Sure.
Favorite X-Men. Next episode I'll be wearing my Rogue shirt. I'll be honest, I love the women X-Men, the X-women. They are my favorites.
The X women. Yeah, X-23 is actually like one of my favorites.
Yes.
I won't tell you who my other favorite is because that will definitely spoil the end of this
Oh.
season. So we won't get into that. All right. So we have the episodes 3 and 4 are actually kind of a two-parter. It's called the
I think I
titles
know
Rise of
who
the
it is, by the
Apocalypse,
way.
and it was part one and then part two.
Yes.
Part one deals with in ancient Egypt in 3000 BC. We have the in Sabanur leading sandstormers against Pharaoh Ramatut. All of a sudden, hey, what do you know? But we
That
got King
was
back.
I was like watching the episode and they dropped all three. So like
Yep.
as the episodes are going on, I'm like kind of like leaning farther back in my chair, just like watching it. I see Ramatut. I lean all the way forward. I'm like, are we doing this right
We're doing this right now.
now?
Yeah, and basically Ramatut at this time is using his futuristic technology to enslave people. Like that's just what he's doing right now. He's basically like he very much admits like I just kind of time travel and
Yes.
exploit whatever I can wherever I can. um Magneto we'll talk about this later. I mean this is Magneto is kind of really trying to channel he's trying to do his best to connect with Charles, his philosophy to Nur, trying to make him the first X-Man and try to get history rewrote for mutant coexistence.
Yes.
Um that and I mean like he's trying to do his best right then to like channel Charles, but Charles is even like, no, like I don't we know like this where he's destined, like I'm afraid he's just destined to become Apocalypse. Let's not do that. And you can probably understand like Magneto's like I'm doing exactly what I think you would want to
It
be
was very
done.
much a role reversal, and it was
Right.
interesting to see because Charles is always the one that's telling people to give everyone
Everyone chance.
fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth chances. We found the one character. He's like, nah, F that guy.
Right.
We can't do
Yes. He's like,
it.
absolutely not. Like
Right.
Xavier's like this. I mean, like Magnesium gotta be like this guy. Like okay, I didn't know you had a line. Apparently,
Right.
Apocalypse is it. So Nur, we're still gonna call him Nur at this time because
Yes.
it's still the past. Nur spares the life of Tut's second in command, General Logos. Um, much to the surprise and kind of the chagrin of his followers. Like his one
Yes.
follower is not happy that like he is not instantly just like this guy needs to die. He should be dying.
Survival of the
Um,
fittest is their motto, and they don't take prisoners. So yeah,
right.
if you've been beaten, conquered, you are not the fittest. You don't deserve to be here. Why are you keeping this guy alive?
Which is where Apocalypse is kind of his philosophy and motto kind of come from. Like you
Yeah,
can start to see, like when they start invoking the like not the strongest to survive, you're like, oh, okay, like this is I get why you're that guy.
yeah.
But we have Beast, Rogue, and Nightcrawler. They're trying to build a time machine to out of Ramatut's stuff
Yeah.
to return to their own time. But Nur Nur interrogates Logos, but he stupidly provokes him and is like, I was your daddy, not your dad, not your daddy, but like your former master.
Yes.
Like, and is like, okay, so, but again, like right at the last second, right before Ner's about to kill this guy, Magneto stop, like, because I think they're trying to see all of the signifiers and signals of what is going to trip up Nur into becoming Apocalypse and trying to like head those out, like whatever they can do, like slap that out of his hand, slap this
Yeah.
out of his hand, do that, and like, okay, eventually we're not. He's if we could just keep slapping all of these distractions, eventually he won't become Apocalypse. Um, so Xavier enters Logo's mind and is trying to find answers about the Pharaoh. Um, but what he sees is that there is a weapon that will transform Rama. Is it Ramatut? Yeah,
Ramatut.
I always think there's another Ramatan, whatever Ramatut um into like a godlike figure,
Yes.
like which is basically, I mean, like what Kang's always trying to do. I mean, like,
It's very on brand for him.
yes, it's
So
not
like,
shocking that you're like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. So we have that Nur and the Sandstormers see that the X-Men have been tinkering with Ramatut's technology and they think that they're trying to enslave them. They think they've been betrayed. They're not believing the story of like, we're just trying to get back to our timeline here,
right.
please. Just like he doesn't believe any of this at that time. Um and so he feels very betrayed, so he ends up cutting off Logos's head out of spite.
Yes, out of spite, he beheads him and starts going back to
Survival of the
the
fittest.
survival of the fittest
Yes.
and vengeance and anger lead all emotion type of mentality. Um, I mean, it kind of just go. They you see the. It's funny because in the first episode we're talking about, oh, we can go back and stop it from happening, and that it's the whole paradox thing. And you see in these episodes everything that they did to try and stop it really just pushed
Push
them
them further into it.
to it
Yes.
happening.
Right, exactly. Like we keep tripping ourselves towards the end goal here.
Yeah,
We just can't get out of our own way. So they Bishop appears, which I don't know why it took him so long to get.
he was just hanging out. He got lost in the desert somewhere.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know where
thought the
he's at.
same.
But I mean, appears in just the nick of time and helps the other X-Men defeat the Sandstormers that were fighting that, due to the betrayal that Nur is feeling at the moment. And before they can travel back, Ramatut fires a shot towards the base where the X-Men and Nur are all at.
Yes.
That is how that episode ends,
Yep.
just in the nick of time he shows up. But so part two, Magneto protects them from that blast, and Nurse
Magneto protects
survives.
the main characters from the blast.
Right, exactly. Everybody else, all the fifth men in Star Trek die,
Yes.
and Nurse survives. I
Yes.
mean, I don't know what, like, Xavier towards the end of this episode, obviously, is very much like your. I know why your mama abandoned you. I know why nobody.
He
But
that
we'll get to
was I had never seen that side of the professor. I said, Charles, you surprised me.
your mama sucks, your daddy sucks. So that's getting ahead of ourselves. So basically, Xavier convinces Nerd to work together again by revealing their identities. Like, okay, if we tell you who we are and why we're here, like maybe help, like.
Yeah.
So they work together to search for this temple, which again they aren't realizing that they're walking him to his creation of as Apocalypse.
And during this, they've been dropping breadcrumbs for the audience that
Yes.
it is a celestial.
Yes. Yes.
Like you see the stars, you see the two columns, three rows,
Right.
which we've seen before, and then
Right.
when Charles encounters Ramatut, they've dropped more breadcrumbs, and so you see it, and so they're looking for this temple, and he's looking up to the stars, and surprise, surprise, the constellation that he sees that is leading them there is celestial.
Right. And Ramatut is like sending little vibes to Xavier, and he's like, bro, you don't want him there. Like this
Like,
is what like
yeah,
I know you don't like me, but like the enemy of my enemy is my friend right now. Please
right.
just turn back.
Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, like you said, like, I know you don't want me to do this because, like, yes, I will also want to be a conqueror, but like, you have firsthand experience why he shouldn't.
Right.
But yeah, he's now stuck and he doesn't, he's like trying to help. Basically, both him and Magneto are trying to help. Magneto's trying to be more like Charles and stop this from happening. Charles doesn't want to betray Magneto. And so he's like, yeah, leading them towards this volcano. And it's like, man, it's getting really hot. We should turn. Like, no, 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 no. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. No, it's like, oh man, I'm sweating right now,
Right.
and I can see the lava coming. Like, no, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. Like that's how
It's
it felt.
it's all good.
It's
It'd be
all
fine once we
good.
get there. So, you know, they reach the temple anyway, and it's revealed to be the house of the fallen celestial Esan. Is it
Yes,
Esan? Esan? Esan.
Isan, I think.
Okay, Esan. Um, and the ship that is going to later be his Apocalypse's weapon.
Yes,
The inscriptions on the temple kind of reveal to Ner what he is, his future. And he's kind of like, you were keeping this from me. You knew I could be a god, and you were trying to deny me this. Um, so he
that's his like
basically,
second or third betrayal at that point.
right, he's just constantly like, guys, just you tell me half the story here
Right.
consistently. Um, and he like basically is like he turns on the X-Men to get this technology.
Yeah.
The X-Men obviously fight him again, but stop him from becoming one with the technology, and he becomes Apocalypse as we know and love him. Um, yeah, Magneto takes the blame and sends them back to the future. And this part, listen, they do a lot to make Xavier look helpless in his wheelchair. This was not one of my favorite scenes because you like Magneto's like his hand and he's like shoving everybody through the time portal, and I just I hate it as much as I hate the scene where in the very last X-Men movie that we got um with Jean Grey
Hmm.
and Xavier's being like drug up the stairs with,
Yes.
yes. I don't like him being in his wheelchair just being like, oh, like he's just it's not a great look, but I mean like he's
You've got this
skedaddling.
Omega level mutant just being thrown around like a rag doll.
Right, and he's skedaddling towards the thing and he's like, yeah, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Apocalypse basically stops Xavier from being able to leave. So now we have Ramatut is like, put my king head on. Deuces, like this
He
is
is
bad. I've done all I can do here,
I've done
guys.
all I can do. I have actually started. I am the cause of a lot of this, and now I'm going to leave. Y'all got this.
This went badly, but you know what? I'm just gonna go to another timeline because
Yep.
this one's whack. I can't do this
I can't do
anymore.
it. I can't do
And
it.
he skedaddles. So Apocalypse creates what is like essentially like a black hole covering the city and is trying, I guess, just to destroy it at this point. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I mean, he's a madman, so like what is his reasoning? Couldn't really tell you, but yeah,
Right.
he's just flexing his powers. Like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy the city and all the people in it. And so Magneto decides that he's going to stop it, which I think based off some discussions I've heard, I think that Magneto is still feeling the effects of or feeling regret and guilt from
The
I'm
party.
blanking
Genosha.
Genosha which I guess we didn't really bring up as well, but I believe Rogue had an interesting conversation with in Sabanur at the campfire about love and how,
Yes.
um, you know,
She doesn't have anything to go back for, but like you really should, like you should try being in love sometime. Like
yeah,
it gives you purpose in
I
some
think
sort of way.
Genosha still wrapped up. I think that is why one of the reasons why Magneto is wanting to turn over a new leaf and is more wanting to be more like Charles and is wanting to save those people because he brought all those mutants to Genosha and then they all like 80% of them died and then
Sure.
they led in Sabanur to the temple to become Apocalypse and now those people are going to die. He probably saw a lot of similarities in that moment and thought, I need to fix this. And then you have Rogue and them have that conversation, which I believe will come back around, pulling from the post-credit scene from the end of last season, where uh, Apocalypse sees Gambit, RIP, his playing card. I think he comes back because people don't really stay dead. But yeah, so again, that's I
We're
might
not
be on the
saying
right track.
I'm just gonna say we're not done with like the fallout from Genosha with a few different characters.
Oh,
So yeah, and how that has affected him. Yeah, but anyways,
yeah. So
we're right
anyway,
at the
so
we're right at the end of this one.
yeah,
So basically, Apocalypse taunts Xavier holding Magneto because Magneto was obviously gravely injured after stopping this black hole
yes.
and stopping the destruction of the city, and but he is very gravely injured in the process, and kind of Apocalypse kind of picks him up by his head, and you knew once he picked him up by his head there was nothing good
There was
coming.
no getting out of it at
There's
that point.
no good coming out of this. um and Apocalypse basically vaporizes Magneto
Obliterated him.
Magneto, and that then Charles loses it, and that's when, like, if we referred to before, he's like, "Your mama hates you, your daddy hates you,
Would have
your
been better
grandmama who
off just leaving you to burn in the desert, and you're gray. he,
you
he
ugly, your
he
mama
was
ugly."
ready because at that point he was done fighting. He saw his best friend die. He saw his greatest, I believe, I mean, if not the greatest, top three enemy of all time for the X-Men become that version of himself. He doesn't have his wheelchair. So
Right.
he's basically just going for broke now. And if I can't fight you, I'm just gonna insult you. And he lets loose.
He lets, like I said, he's just like, I understand why your mama left you in the desert, like, and you just suck. And I was just like, he did everything he could to like want to die at that
He
moment,
wanted to
which is
die in that moment.
crazy. But I mean, like, yeah, so basically, like, Apocalypse goes to step on his head and is like, ain't worth it. And like you're the ant. And, like, I get no honor from stepping on ants. So
Yeah.
see ya, deuces, leave you. And then, like, very last, we have, like, in the 90s, Captain America and Black Widow, we see them deliver Wolverine a file on Weapon X.
Yes.
Um, which, yeah, that is going to be episode 5. That's what's going to be coming out tomorrow. This is July 14th. This is
Yes.
Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Tuesday. So before this comes out, which early in the should be early in the morning. Yeah. So yeah, we do get a few more, like, they're, yes, they are still going to be dealing obviously with Apocalypse. He's very much the main focus of the season. There are going to be some side stories that aren't going to detract from this. Um, but that deal with some characters that we haven't seen yet in
I
in
will
this season yet.
say I appreciated the first three and ultimately four episodes because I remember I thought the first season was almost perfect. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely loved it. And I remember when the first season ended, you had said, and I agreed, like, okay, we're dealing with apocalypse again, and we're dealing with time travel again, which kind of just felt like X-Men, the first version. all over again. And it's like,
Sure.
well, I mean, and I realized like, yeah, they had Sentinels in the first season of X-Men 97, and Sentinels were their villain from the throughout the X-Men, and so was Apocalypse. But I think the Sentinels are different because that's just like a constant thing, whereas like Apocalypse is just a bigger kind of story, and I was a little let down in a way of like I thought they'd do a good job, but I wasn't thrilled that, oh, we're dealing with time travel, oh, we're dealing with Apocalypse. And then you get the 3 episodes and you basically see that it's not going to be a full season of
Of time travel.
two teams split in time travel. It's, yeah, they're here. There was a reason for it, and we wrapped it up and kept it pushing. And I really, really, I didn't expect that, and I really appreciated it. I thought they did a great job with it. Like you said, within the first episode, they were able to get them to the future, explain why they were there, do some stuff, bring them back to the present.
Yeah,
All of
100%.
that in one episode.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, and by the time we're almost halfway through the season, everybody is back, like except Charles at that moment.
But
Um,
Forge comes and gets him at the end of the before the credits roll. Forge comes and gets him.
right, right. So everybody's back, and now they're just dealing with the ramifications of Apocalypse being who he is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you're gonna see a bunch of characters that we had, like I said, we haven't dealt with their stories yet that deal with Genosha and what happened at Genosha. Um, and some character arcs that are going to go on. People that we did deal with in season one that didn't have to. Well, I mean, kind of maybe did with not really dealt with Genosha, but I mean, not really. You do see some past villains come back into play. Um, yeah, and then yeah, so the next one is going to be without I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it at this point. It's You are dealing with a side quest for Wolverine with the Weapon X. We're kind of laying off of the Apocalypse story just for this one, so you're gonna kind of feel like, wait, like what are we dealing with here? Um, but for a reason, and I'll
I'm
just
okay
leave.
with it. They had them in the original X-Men show, but to be fair, they also had like 24 episodes, so they could have those one-offs and for different characters, whereas this one it's 9 episodes. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, why are
It,
you doing that? But for me, I'm okay with it just because I love the crossovers with the different characters from other parts of the Marvel universe. Plus, X-Men have always been my favorite group. I know we got the Avengers and we've gotten multiple versions of the Fantastic Four. I have always been an X-Men kid, an X-Men guy. Like that's been my super family. Y'all can have the Fantastic Four, you can have the Avengers, you can have them all and leave me the X-Men. So you're gonna give me a one-off episode of Wolverine. I'm here for it.
and this again, this is not spoiled because I mean this is right off the bat, but you're gonna have Wolverine, you're gonna have Sabretooth, you're gonna have what's the chick with the long fingers or the long
Not
nails?
X-23,
Not X-23, but
the
yeah.
fingernail one. Yes, that one.
His ex-girlfriend,
Yes.
yeah. Whoever she turned into, I can't remember
Yeah.
right off the top of my head. Somebody else and Morph are kind of all together in a group, which is odd. But I mean, you get a little bit of Red Guardian in that one.
Have you watched the recently? Have you watched the original X-Men animated series?
Not I did. I mean, I watched it way back when,
Okay.
and
So I was watching it well, actually it was really funny. So I started watching it with my 7-year-old. Well, I guess he was 5 at the time,
right,
right before they announced that they were bringing it back. It was just he was playing Lego Avengers game, and one of the characters was Wolverine, and he was like, "Oh, who is that?" And I'm like, let me tell you. So then I started watching the original X-Men series, and I think like 3 weeks into us watching that, they announced X-Men 97, which was just perfect timing. But one of the episodes, there is a story arc with Wolverine and Sabretooth, and like he has a mission with Captain America, and I think the post-credit scene is the follow-up of that episode. I
Hmm.
forget which season it is, but like they were already together in a previous episode back in the 90s.
Right.
So this is like a follow-up to that episode, is at least that's what I got from the post-credit scene. And
Right.
you see a
Because
lot of characters. I think Red
as
Guardian
we
was in that
remember at that
episode.
time, Wolverine is still not with his bone claws.
Correct.
Right. That's yes, that is part of his mission is to figure out why, what Weapon X is. Um, and going on that. And it's a yeah. It's just like I said, it's not a one-off. It's a one-off. I put it this way, it's a one-off for a purpose.
Yeah.
That will obviously be used, later on in the season. But very good season. I mean, as we go through these week by week. But yeah, it's good. There's sometimes we're a little like it's questionable, but that's fine. It still got me in the end. So that's I enjoyed the first four. The death of Magneto. I will say this that there I forgot what episode it is coming up, and again, I'm not giving away spoilers. It's just if you were on the fence about whether or not Magneto and Charles were lovers, they make a heavy play for the things that Charles says. You're just like, I would have phrased that better. Like
The way
that's
Charles has always spoken, again, you go back to the original animated series, this man was trying to hit the word count on all of his sentences, and he was speaking like a thesaurus,
yeah.
and yeah, it just sounds interesting. And I have a theory of what happens just based on some things that have happened and your comment of your favorite X-Men. Like, I have a theory, and if this is
Okay.
true, I assume that's what the third season will be kind of focused on.
No.
No.
The third season is going to be they introduce somebody that you don't see throughout this entire. You have seen this person. You saw this person in X-Men. It's I believe in X-Men the first season. It's either the series or season one. Again, I would have to go back and even read season one, the recaps of that. But this person you will not see in you will not see this person, this X-Men, this mutant, until the very last scene of episode 9. We
Gotcha.
have not dealt with this mutant at all. We have dealt with this mutant before. We know of this mutant. This is a very famous mutant, but we have not dealt with this mutant at all in this season until this very last season. And I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure what the story is, but you just know by them bringing this person back into the fold that's obviously is going to be something not
Gotcha.
great, not
Okay.
great.
I was going a different direction.
Give me your theory, anyways.
My theory, because I have said I'm cool with characters dying. I think it adds depth to a show. If a character always survives,
Sure,
then what's the point? That's why I'm very big on the keep Iron Man dead in the MCU.
sure.
But with Magneto dying, that one kind of caught me off guard because like that's a big character. And so I was like, is he actually dead? He vaporized him, blah, blah, blah. And then you have Charles. And so I was thinking that Onslaught is kind of the direction that we were going, and that was going to be the focus of season three.
It might be, but no. As far as what you're seeing and you're given at the end of this, that is not, which would have been great. I love the Onslaught storyline. But no, we do lose somebody else.
Damn.
Um, and
All
when
right,
I
all
real
right, all
yeah,
right.
when I realized who we were losing, I literally started crying. So it was like, Yeah, it was great. Great.
Yeah,
It's great writing. The monologue at the end is fantastic. It's great. It wraps this season up very nicely with an unfortunate loss, but it's yes, it very much closes that chapter before we move on to this other mutant. So
gotcha.
very happy. But like I said, I'm not I wouldn't spoil that for anybody. And I think I did a pretty good job of not spoiling anything.
We'll circle back after the finale. We'll come back to this episode.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like you, I don't think no, I don't think you could guess from.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm not
No,
even gonna
good,
try. I
good.
I have been enjoying. I enjoyed the first four episodes. Um, Again, I agree with you. Like they're trying to make Jubilee happen, and maybe because Jubilee is the youngest, and they're trying to capture the younger audiences, so they figure,
Right.
hey, let's get this young, cool, hip kid with the yellow jacket and the blender sunglasses. I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a Jubilee episode, but I thought, again, the X-Force opening sequence just made my heart happy. Um,
You do get more X Force.
awesome.
Oh, you well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, well, obviously because it is again it is still very an apocalypse hunting storyline through
Yeah.
the season. So obviously with Cable and Psylocke and Archangel involved, yes, that
I thought
you do have
Jubilee
it.
getting her hallway scene was great. I love the music. Um, I I love that we're well, I just love that the X-Men are back, but I
Yes,
love that they're taking I loved the first season of X-Men 97. Like phenomenal. I've gone back and watched it again. The monologues, everything with Genosha, everything just with Magneto and Rogue trying to cuck my boy Gambit, and then when he died, overreacting like that was my man. Like, no, actually, it wasn't. You were actually playing in that man's face with Magneto. Like, I loved everything about that season. This season has gotten off to a great start, and
agreed.
yeah, I'm
It
happy.
agreed. It's a very interesting season where it's going. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I look forward to your reactions for the next few episodes coming up. So we've got July 15th, 22nd, 29th, August 5th, and August 12th. So it'll be I can do this. I can hold the secret for a month.
Yes,
I know I
yes.
can do this.
Uh,
But I'll probably just keep rewatching all of it over and over again so I can
right.
keep these recaps so I can deliver the recap for the episode. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there and yeah, we'll talk to you. I guess we'll talk to you with I guess we're gonna probably get the next either wait on another X-Men and get two of them done.
Yeah, I think that
We'll see how to do
works.
it because we still have House of Dragon going on and everything. So
Yes.
we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.